Tropical Cyclone Olga has strengthened a little bit more since this morning, with maximum sustained winds right now of 75 miles per hour. Right now, gusts of 90 miles per hour, and central pressure around 988 millibars at this time. The storm this morning did in fact become a Category 2 during the first update. Which is a minimum of winds of 65 miles per hour for the southern hemisphere's cyclone scale, mainly developed by Australia, and it is now in the middle range of Category 2 intensity. As you can see right now as well, the storm is very impressive structure for its intensity right now as well. We have an eye. We have a visible, obvious eye going on right now within the storm. It is looking really good on satellite imagery right now. Storm presenting a pretty impressive structure, very mature. I'm going to move to infrared. Excuse me. Oh, there it is. That is the right one. Never mind. I thought I clicked on the wrong one. Move to infrared here to show you what exactly is happening with that eye wall structure. As you can see, we've had a massive blow up on the the western side of the eye wall structure, which appears to be wrapping around now. And this is the beginning right here of an eye wall structure that will lead to a much stronger storm than it is right now. Like I said previously, we are forecasting that this storm will become a Category 3 with winds maybe between 90 and 100 miles per hour. However, the good news is it is still not expected to hit Australia, but it is going to pass very close and possibly make up some rough seas, strong enough for it to be unsafe, but weak enough for it not to be. But weak enough to avoid catastrophic flooding. So here is the latest from the Joint Typhoon Warning Center's cone. They're also forecasting an 80 knot maximum intensity, which would be 90 miles per hour, slightly over 90 miles per hour, more like 92 miles per hour. That it would be a Category 3 storm. Minimal Category 3, but nonetheless, a major cyclone is underway. I would already call it major, considering it's very impressive and it already has powerful winds inside of it already. Moving toward the forecast models. There we go. I almost clicked on the wrong one. Forecast models show the storm will have that intensification into a Category 3, however briefly though, and the storm will run into higher wind shear, which will cause the storm to rapidly fall apart. It may get a little bit closer to the coast of Australia as it weakens, especially toward the far western coastline. But by the time it gets close enough, but if it even gets close enough at that point, it won't have much to it at all. At that point, it's going to be a short-lived storm. It's only going to last for a few more days, 3, maybe 4, and then as you can see, another cyclone forms in the northwestern Coral Sea, slamming into the Cape York east coast of the Cape York Peninsula, which is interesting because during this morning's update they had it slamming into western portions of the Gulf of Carpentaria. So that's a major change in the forecast. Of course, that is medium range models we are looking at. We have time, and it looks like what remnants of it stalls there, which could be a pretty big time rainmaker. For that area, and maybe a third disturbance maybe start to spin up here near the Cape York Peninsula by April 22nd. Of course, that is long-range models, and we don't really have any reason to we don't yet have any reason to have confidence in that possibility at this point, at least initially right now, unless that forecast holds for the next week or so and it becomes more of a concern. We will take a look and take a closer look and at the potential for a third cyclone. But right now it looks like on the cards over the next couple of weeks we have 2 storms, one right now active and another one may form slamming into Cape York. So we'll definitely keep an eye on those. We're going to go to the rainfall totals just to get a good look at as to how much this is going to Excuse me, that's snowfall. Just to get a good look at how much we're going to see from this storm. The Cyclone Olga, again, like I said this morning, not going to hit Western Australia at all. Although there may be spattered areas of a light glaze of rain, sprinkles of rain, maybe. Sorry, glaze is a reference to ice. I've been stuck in winter for too long. A slight sprinkle of some rain may occur along the coast in relation to the storm, only amounting to maybe 0.2 inches of rainfall. That's not much at all. Hardly anything. And then, as time goes on, the storm in the Coral Sea, causing some substantial rainfall totals for Cape York Peninsula. Once it's all said and done, we're looking at April 18th is pretty much when it was gone. We're looking at the potential for anywhere between 225 and 300 millimeters of rain over in a narrow area over the Cape York Peninsula as well. And then the remnants of the system may cause more additional rainfall in portions of the western coast of the Gulf of Carpentaria. Word is on the tip of my tongue, but not quite there. More rainfall on the west coast of the Gulf of Carpentaria, possibly numbering up to 80 to 100 millimeters of rain there. And that's at the end of the run on that one. Going toward wind shear. Right now, wind shear has risen slightly, but still remains favorable over the storm right now at 10. Right now to 10 to 15 knot wind shear. So still favorable, but slightly higher than what we were seeing this morning at 5, which was 5 to 10. And then, of course, as you can see, this mass of 30 to as much as 50 or 60 knot wind shear toward the southwest of the storm, which is where it will be headed. That's the stuff that will completely tear the storm to shreds. We didn't take a look at sea surface temperatures previously, so why don't I take you there now? Sea surface temperatures were a lot warmer just a couple weeks ago in areas of Australia, but as we are now late season, late in the cyclone season here, very late, we only have like 3 weeks left. Water temperatures have dropped down to 28 to maybe 29, maybe a few 29 degrees Celsius water temperatures, maybe a couple of pockets of 30 along the coastlines of Indonesia and Australia. But nothing really, but no 30s really in the direct way of Cyclone Olga. However, at the Cape York Peninsula, we have 29 to 30 degrees Celsius water temperatures up there, so we may see more favorable conditions for a stronger storm up there. I wouldn't be surprised if that becomes at least a Category 2 at landfall at the Cape York Peninsula. So we'll keep a close eye on that one as well. And then by the time it gets toward the far west coast of Australia, it's down to 27 to 28 degrees Celsius, only marginally favorable, and it will not be enough to give the storm any energy to compensate for the wind shear that it will have to deal with. So we are really looking at this storm as it has a limited time for intensification and a very limited lifetime as well. That is what we've got for this update. We'll have another update later this evening in, say, maybe 3 or 4 hours, depending on if anything has changed or not. If anything has not changed in maybe 3 or 4 hours, we will provide another update as soon as there's something notable, as soon as there have been some changes to the storm's either intensity, position, or forecast. We'll be back.